Yes. Okay. Great. Onegaishimasu. Okay, great. Let's just loosen off a little bit. Yeah, front and back. And taking it left and right. Great, and rotating. Right, take it into our way. Okay, great. Keep taking it into the shoulders, roll circles. And forwards. And roll out to the back. And go forwards. Circling the arm out. Changing sides. Circling to the back, the elbows. Reaching out with the hands. Circling the hips. Changing direction. Feet together, bend and straighten the legs. Get the circling the knees. Changing direction. Okay, stepping out a little bit, dropping to the center, boosting out the hips. Right hands on your knees, rotating through, looking over the shoulder. Okay, take it to the side of the legs. And hold it on one side. Change over. Down, bring the toes up. Changing over. Straighten the legs out. Hands up to the same line. Great, walking out with the hands. Stretch into the shoulders. Great, walking the hands back, feet together. And fold the body forwards. Pressing the palms down. Great, and going back up nice and slow. Standing. Great. I was going to do a swinging, just raising up. Some dynamic. Okay, back into the center. Go to the side and twist it through. Reaching the shoulder. Okay, and circle the arms on top. Changing the direction. Great. And then from here, just let the body drop down, curl the spine down. You're going to release the arms. And then just start to shake out the spine and release the arms. Play with any kind of movement. Keep the knees soft, arms heavy. Relax the head and spine. Feel that connection to the ground through the legs. And just sway the arms, sway the spine. Nice gentle movement. No stress at all in the spine. Feel the arms kind of away, just tuck them up to the head. Nice and slowly. And back to the top. Just shaking out the wrist at the top. To the sides. Now the arms here. Check out the legs. Move the feet down to the ground. Let's create a pulse from the center of the body. Pass through the whole body. Start to make it smaller, smaller. Faint movement. Great, we will do some okay today. Good. Okay, we'll just take it into the first one. So just take your time. Nice and slow, reaching the back. And into the curve. Invisible bucket. Good. Good. Great. Good training. Okay, great. Okay. Yeah. Good. Just look at one thing, which is this. We were looking on like Saturday. We were thinking we're looking at this articulation in the wrist and go to like this cocking feeling. What I want you to do is we'll look at the same point, but think about linking it with the feet as well. So this articulation in the wrists happening at the same time as you're articulating the feet in this movement. So just think about kind of pairing these two, this foot and this hand together, but think about this articulation in the feet this way. So try and get again that mobility in the joint, but look for it also in the foot as well. So that kind of feeling. So you're mobilizing, especially this foot, this hand, and then you're grounding it, making it come to the gripping position, but also reaching into the ground with this foot. So just look at the kind of mobility in this movement, especially the raise, the cut, wrists and feet in this case. Yeah, great. Good. Look at the same connection now. Go to the elbows and the knees. So you've got kind of two things happening with this, or two things you want to look at. The main thing with the knees, this idea of kind of releasing the cut. So from here and this position, releasing the cut here. So just think about now as the knees, if you want to make the cut, think about releasing the knees forward into the cut, or knee forward, especially this one, this way. And at the same time, think about these the elbows becoming really heavy through the movement. So you're looking for, in this movement, the case, whereas I've been teaching these beginner classes a lot, and the main thing you see with beginners is this, throwing out the arm. And I was getting them to do this exercise, which is like, you just do this. If I throw out the kind of from the hand and I lock the elbow, and I reach pressure here, I basically lock the joint. And this is where you find this kind of movement come up a lot, where the shoulders kind of right up. So the main thing you want to look for is that sense that the elbows kind of dropping in the weight. So just think about that as you do this. Think about the elbows dropping in. The same thing we do with that kind of swinging exercise. The elbows become heavy, but think about that at the same time, get that heaviness in the elbow, and think about the knees basically releasing the body forward. It's the exact same movement as that swing, but you've got it in there coming into the hammy. So there's a bit more emphasis on the right side, but look for now with the sword again, that connecting the elbows and the knees in this case. So especially from this position, think about the knees release and the elbows boom, drop in, release, drop in. So you're looking for the cut to be more of a kind of releasing movement than a kind of coming to a position and holding it. Yeah, that's it. So knees release, elbows heavy. Yeah, Catherine, nice. Good, that's it. Once you got the heaviness in the elbows, think as you release the knee, as if the knees kind of drag the elbows down into the ground. So they're kind of pulling the elbows down. Right. Yeah, that's it. Nice. job. Yeah, perfect. Great. Okay, great. We'll take this into number 5, just working on the spot. This time, focus on the shoulders and the hips. So now bringing the hip movement into it. Again, just think in this case about your change in the hip and letting in this case, just think about the shoulders settling into the hips as you do this. So as you change, yokumen left side, right side. Think about the shoulders just settling down into the hips. Settling down into the hips. That's it. Yeah, good. Working on the spot. Yokumen chi. Nice. Yeah. Again, just take it, you've got the same idea with this. Think about the knees and the elbows. So as you go in, the main thing with this is that heaviness in the elbow. Keep it as you raise it. So as you're going into the movement. Again, you've got the knees release the movement. But think in this case, especially in the raise, that you want the elbows to be heavy. So it's like these kind of swinging exercises, this one, and actually this one. So this kind of movement, especially when you get to the top of the movement, you want the elbows to be really heavy as you go into it. So you don't want, in this case, the elbows to be caught up in this kind of movement, and then it's going to pull me out. So release through the knees, keep the elbows heavy as you do this. And that kind of feeling. So let that back knee come in, release the cutting. Elbows drain down. Yeah. Great, and then we'll take it into a step. So this focuses a little bit more, again, hands and feet. Focus on now the two things. You want to focus on the articulation in the feet. So as you're creating a step with it, think about the feet kind of peeling in and out of the ground. So the back foot here, and then as you step, change it. Think about the feet really kind of peeling out of the ground for the movement. So you're trying to use the full articulation of the feet. Same time, think about the hands in this case. You've got this kind of scissoring movement happening with the hands. So again, this needs a kind of release, and it needs a mobility in the wrist, especially because if I lock this joint, the sword basically does that kind of movement, starts to kind of do this. So you want to again keep that weight in it and think about releasing, where you're kind of scissoring the grip onto the sword. So look at that kind of mobility in the feet as you find the curve. And this kind of scissoring which happens in the hands and then into the grip. You solidify that connection. All the body goes more and then in. There. Good. Okay, we'll take this into a number second. So just working from this position, coming back into Jodan. Just do one cut and one thrust on each side. So you've got the cut in, ground, and then thrust in on the left. Let's go one up to the top, straight into the cut. That's deep. Great. Okay, play with. That's the same combination. Just we're making it a little bit flexible here. So what you're looking for now is you go back, sinking in, pressing the hips in, pressing into the ski. Keep it nice, slow, heavy. The key thing is think about the hips being constantly in motion, pressing movement out through the tip of the sword. So you've got this, this. Nice and slow. This, that. It is very small, but yeah. Right. So we'll kind of challenge this now. Working with the rotation. So the same movement. Come in, back, cut in, and then you're going to look for this movement here. We'll finish it with a ski. So you're going to kind of go into that movement from a rotation, but just it's a kind of semi-flowing style. So come to the back, you press in with the cut, then you rotate, release it. Find the ski. So want to keep that connection on all the time, coming up to the top. In, rotate, release the yokomen. Find the ski. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. One thing that's happened a little bit is you find the rotation, there's a kind of twist that happens in the arm. And if this happens to the body kind of starts to do this as you do it. So just play this again. It's like this kind of swinging through. Just play with it from this position. So you start at the top in this position already with the right foot forward. Just practice releasing the cut through. And at the same time you release it, drop the body to the back. So you're dropping in. Just as you would with that kind of swing, but think about as you drop into the cut now, releasing through, and just let the body kind of swing to the back this way. You're looking for the body to basically fit the rotation in, or you're looking to center the body where this doesn't happen in the body. So look for, in this case, it's kind of usually a question of like hip stability, but just look for the hips they need to be stable, but also flexible in the knees and the ankles. So just start from this high position, drop it in, but see if you can find that kind of rotation. Just let the body kind of find the other direction, turn to the back, basically. Just kind of swing through. Okay. Yeah. That's it. Yeah, great. Just play now with this, just with the right hand. So you're going to now come to the top of the movement here, thinking about dropping it, releasing it, continue it, and then reach the top of the head again this way, and then just let it release again this way. So you've got this motion, this, and this, and just keep the arm nice and soft. But just what you're playing with is again that stability in the hip as your hands kind of casting out, out, up, down, round, all these kind of movements as it kind of moves around the body. And yeah, just think about that kind of connection to the center of the body. You go this kind of elastic, so it's got this kind of elastic quality. It's being drawn in, up, back down. So it's got this kind of stretchy kind of quality with it. Just looking at kind of the right arm in this case. That's it. And it's a little bit one of not the problems with the Kihon, but the challenge of going from Kihon into Kinagari is because we're training the Kihon that the tendency is to come to position, change, come to position this way. And so I'm actually not transferring any weight through it. I'm just kind of getting to position, changing position, coming to another position, but there's no kind of transference of weight through it. And the Kinagari is really all about this transference of weight through the motion. So think as you do this one, that kind of thing. So the weight of the body's being drained through it. The challenge with starting with this Kinagari is I tend to go too loose with it. So the whole body becomes kind of loose and light and kind of empty and wet. So look for this kind of heaviness in the body. But think about, you can also use your other hand to kind of play with it. But this sense that you want to kind of drop the weight through, but it doesn't kind of stop in the ground. So it's not about kind of get to position, it's about passing through it. That kind of thing with it. Yeah. In a way, this is easier to get with the hands. The sword's tricky because you've got to really work with the gripping and all these kind of other issues. Yeah, nice. Great. Good. Coming back into the sword work. So keep this light, but again, think about kind of constant motion through it. So especially here, you're going to go now into the through the cut, take it through to the second, and then let yourself catch that ski in the movement now. So you know the kind of complex movement happening at the end of it. But focus now on that sense again, dropping in, weight, take it into the ski. Good. Okay, last 2 minutes or so. Just play just the last part of it. So just working with kind of number 7, with the kind of light movement. So working from here. What I want to play with is real kind of this kind of motion. So working with a really kind of 𝒂𝒂𝒏 motion. So the key with this again is you can do this with this last move we did as well. The problem with again the challenge from the 𝒂𝒂𝒏 that sense as I come to a position, I tend to lock the joint system up. And then it's about I get to that and then I have to release it and then I have to find it again. So look for, especially the 𝒂𝒂𝒏 kind of form, look for that articulation to stay open. So look for your joint system to stay open. It's the difference between like that release, that, and basically like that kind of feeling. We do this a lot, especially if you think about 𝒂𝒂𝒏 techniques. That sense you drop weight, shift the position. So it's not about kind of getting in position, fix it, change it, fix it. It's about dropping the weight and then taking it somewhere else. So just play it just the last few moments here. Yeah, kind of sense of the 𝒂𝒂𝒏 form. You want the focus, you want the weight, but you want to stay with the joint system free and able to kind of pass through another motion. Yeah. Perfect. Great. We'll stop there. Very good. Great. どうもありがとうございました。
どうもありがとうございました。
All right. Great. Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You all